So I never thought I'd say this, but Microsoft is buying over Activision. Now this news is huge, and I don't think people understand the magnitude of it or really what the specifics are. And here in this video, I'm going to furthermore explain everything about this buyout and what it could potentially mean for the Call of Duty franchise. Now without further ado, let's get started. Now this is a buyout that nobody saw coming, and there wasn't any rumors. I mean, usually with Call of Duty, we usually find out a lot of rumors or a lot of leaked things through the files and whatnot, or people who have heard it from word of mouth, but this was kept very under wraps until it was made public. And this was a huge win for Microsoft because now they have certain titles that can be now exclusive to the PC or Xbox. Now the best comparison I can make in terms of the scale of this buyout is when Marvel bought out Fox for all its characters for billions of dollars. It's similar like this, but just in gaming. You see, Microsoft bought out Activision for all of these exclusive titles, and one of them happens to be Call of Duty. And that was a huge question that all the fans had once this buyout was announced. It was sort of like, what's going to happen to Call of Duty on PlayStation? Now there was a lot of ambiguity, tweets, rumors, etc., but it all just became officially confirmed with this Bloomberg article. Now the article elaborates on things that we already know, like for example, this buyout won't go into full effect until next June, like next year 2023, so we don't have really too much to worry about, and nothing much will be changed in terms of that schedule. Now in this article, they say that the next and final Call of Duty that's on the contract with PlayStation is going to be whatever the Call of Duty that comes out in 2023, and they don't really elaborate if they really want to renew that contract or even if they want to like keep it exclusive to the Xbox or PC. And they also said that they are going to be working on the next iteration of Warzone, so like a sequel to Warzone, possibly Warzone 2, and that is extremely exciting because I've been very vocal about this in the community that I feel like Warzone needs a hard reset, and this could be that. Now I've said this before and I'll say it again, if Microsoft decides to only keep Call of Duty on PC and Xbox, it's sort of like they're missing out on this huge profit. They're technically and metaphorically just shooting themselves in the foot. And if they do decide to do this by any means, I think this is sort of like a fair play, or sort of like you gotta kind of recognize game in a sense. I know it sounds silly to say, but it's the truth. You see, Microsoft did something very smart with the Xbox Series X and S, and that is that they integrated it with the PC. So let's say hypothetically I have a Microsoft PC, which is like the only gaming PC you can get, and you want to buy an Xbox, you're technically not throwing away your money, you're just more so expanding that PC version onto the Xbox, and they did something really smart. I mean, it's a smart plan, and I think that Microsoft played the long game rather than the short wins. Like, they sort of won the war instead of the battle. But I genuinely want to know what is PlayStation's clapback for the whole entire Microsoft deal, because if we're being honest, PlayStation now has to come out with something, or they have to at least try to do something to sort of counteract this deal, or they have to do something in order to persuade people to stay on the PlayStation side. And don't get me wrong, I was a PlayStation fanboy since the PlayStation 3 days. I mean, I grew up with PlayStation and I still love it, and I'm still currently trying to get a PS5, but my opinion is like, what's gonna make people stay with PlayStation in the long term? You see, I can only think of one thing Sony can do, but I don't think it would be the smartest decision, and that'll be just to not put any of their exclusives on PC anymore. You see, it would be Sony missing out on a huge profit margin because those PlayStation exclusives that come to PC sell really well, and that's shown by a lot of the games that have come out, like Days Gone, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn. And Sony did purchase a sub company to sort of make more PC ports, so I don't know if they're really going to throw that away or if they're just going to keep those until later on, but all in all, I think that's the only way they can sort of persuade people to stay on PlayStation. But from the sounds of it, it sounds like they're still porting over those PlayStation exclusives to PC. Now, I sort of have a question that I know the answer to, and that's like, which gamers really benefit from this buyout? Now, the truthful answer is that all the PC players are definitely going to benefit from this buyout, because not only do they have Microsoft exclusives now possibly being Call of Duty, Halo, etc., but also having the PlayStation exclusives as well. You see, PC gamers are now getting the best of both worlds, and that's sort of why a lot of people are moving now to PC, because now you can just get everything that you wanted from these companies. Granted, it still is expensive, but is it too much off from a console on resale, or a console even for full retail price plus tax? I don't really think so. I'd rather spend the extra money and get the more luxuries than to sit there and be exclusive to only certain titles. As an Xbox player, this whole entire deal was a win. As a PC player, this was a definite win, and as a PlayStation player, it just is ultimately a loss. Now, what would ultimately happen in the future in terms of Call of Duty? That's a huge question mark. I mean, they could technically keep Warzone, but the yearly titles won't probably be a thing no more, because they have expressed that they want to sort of make Call of Duty maybe once every 2 years or once every 3 years. Or or possibly making it like a games of service type of game. I think giving the devs more time is definitely a great idea, and we've seen that the more time you spend on a game, the better it will come out. I mean, just look at the way Modern Warfare was made. Modern Warfare 2019 took 3 years to make, and it was phenomenal, and it was a success. So to make Call of Duty a once every 2 years type of game or once every 3 years is definitely a must for the company, and it'll provide better quality for the customer. And I feel like now the devs will sort of more listen to the community and figure out what needs to be changed or what they need to do in the next Call of Duty to better off themselves, rather than feeling like a consumer who just have to deal with Activision's monetary BS. And now Call of Duty can more so feel like a community rather than feeling like the consumer in the terms of a business standpoint. Overall, I think this buyout was just a great thing. From the Call of Duty community receiving products that are now quality over quantity and actually being listened to rather than just being monetary BS, to now having Sony to step up to the plate and provide more competition to Microsoft, and that can be probably the best experience for both gamers in both worlds. Maybe Sony will want to put out more exclusive titles that are more on the same scale of like The Last of Us, God of War, something that's phenomenal. We could possibly be seeing a gaming war like it was in the Xbox 360 and PS3 era, and I think that the best is yet to come. You see, at this point, it's not a console war anymore, it's a whole entire gaming war, and I think this is interesting, and I feel like we are in for a treat. But I do want to hear your guys' feedback. Are you guys excited for this? Are you guys not? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. It's been your boy Beast, and I'll see you guys in the next video.